Alright, it's day number 114 of my accountability to myself, and I appreciate everyone's attention who watches this. And today, especially right now, I have such an ambiguous feeling because I'm just reflecting on some stuff. I just had a conversation with my friend, with my neighbor who lives a couple of floors below, and every now and then he comes to my room, we talk about some stuff, and you know, today we talked about the things that I want to achieve in life, because he always tells me that I'm so disciplined and I'm going to achieve everything I want, and um, yeah, and I mean this kind of stuff. And of course it's flattering, but the thing is that everyone who always says like you're so disciplined, nobody understands how much doubts do I have about what I do. And so we started talking about all this stuff, and I told him that it feels like, yeah, I've got discipline, and I kind of even know what I do, but the thing is that I don't feel the connection between the real aim I want to achieve and what I do today. And we started talking about what would I do if no one paid me for some kind of stuff, or what would I genuinely do, and stuff like that, and what I want to achieve. And so we came to a conclusion. It's especially what I mentioned, that, for example, when I look for some kind of opportunities, it requires Dutch. In the area, in the location where I've been living, it requires Dutch. Because when I look for something, it says Dutch and English, not just English, Dutch and English. And it means that I literally need to study Dutch, but I don't want to acknowledge this because I want to keep studying French. And the problem is that it's really hard to me to realize that I need to, for example, drop French and start studying Dutch. However, there's even an advantage probably, because Dutch very similar to English, and this is probably the reason why everyone here speaks English besides Dutch. But still, it's a language. It's another language that requires so much time. And actually, of course, I could postpone it. I could say that I can finish my internship, and then I can find some courses and start studying with courses. But the thing is that I just need to start studying this language, even if a bit. But still, I hear it around myself, like everywhere. So even studying it a little, trying to apply it a little, might help me. And it's not about perfect action. It's not about perfect beginning, because of course I remember the words I mentioned, that imperfect action beats perfect inaction. But the thing is that I'm trying to do everything at once. I'm trying to improve my English, I'm trying to study French, I'm trying to have my internship, I'm trying to study good to pass all the exams, and I want to add Dutch, and at the same time I have some desire to grow. That's why I study some stuff. For example, today in the evening I spent about 40 minutes watching a video about our thinking, how it actually works, how it affects our mind, how to get rid of this, why it doesn't make any sense. I started writing a script because I want to rehearse a script and then trying to record video when I'm explaining what does mean. And I have so much stuff that I want to do at the same time, and I just can't acknowledge that I need to abandon one stuff and I need to be focused on another one. Because when you hit in a specific direction, you give up everything that is not related to your aim. Because if you have something that you want to achieve, every action has only two answers. It gives me closer to my aim, yes, no, period. There's no probably, there's no presumably, there's no maybe, there's only yes or no. And trying to catch all the birds might turn out being uncompleted version of a specialist in every area. So it probably would be important to make a decision and to start taking some actions towards this decision. But it's so hard. I don't really want to change what I'm doing right now. I don't want to give up French because I went through a lot and I want to master this language, right? But at the same time, objectively, Dutch would be more prioritized nowadays just because I live in this society. And in a couple of years, when I graduate from university, I will be having more opportunities speaking Dutch. However, by the way, at the same time, I've just caught myself with an idea that the guy who I got to know a couple of days, last week actually, in the gym, who has his own business and he speaks 5 languages fluently, and I asked him, I asked him, how do you speak 5 languages fluently? And he answered, I just speak those languages, that's it. But what he answered and what actually surprised me, that he said, but the only language I need is English. I don't need the rest of the languages. It's not in terms of communications, in terms of business. He lives in Belgium, he lives in Dutch spoken part, but he applies English in his business area. So it's at the same time possible not to study Dutch and do some stuff that might bring value, money, and I'm gonna grow. But the thing is that I need to find what to do specifically, and I need to take some actions. And for example, one of the things that I was thinking about, if I started talking about my thoughts, probably I can mention about this either. So one of the things I've been thinking about is that I actually want to record those videos, like not really long ones, like for 1-2 minutes, and I post them in Instagram, probably in TikTok, just making them in a way I really like, explaining the idea briefly but understandably, so it might actually remind myself about something or help someone. Because I want to produce content that I want to rewatch by myself. I don't want to make quantity, I want to make quality. And I was wondering, if I do high quality content that I like, that looks pretty nice, I would be still shy probably to post it on my main account. And I inquired myself why. And I found the answer. And it's so ridiculous because I'm still scared of this stuff. Like, I don't want to post it on my main account, and I don't really want to post it to create a new account and post on a new account because it's just the fear of judgment. You know what I mean? It's just a fear of failure. Because if I actually start doing this, I need to be obsessed with this idea. Because if I cannot succeed from the beginning, I need to be willing to keep going for a year, 2 years. Because what is the thing? The thing is not that you start doing this to succeed. The thing that you start doing this because you enjoy it. As a result of enjoyment, you improve by itself and you become better, right? Because it's something you really like. And sooner or later, but it reaches the point when it's also interesting for others because it's a high quality, good content. But the thing is that will I be able to cope it? Not to abandon this? Because there are 2 points, two scenarios. First, I start doing this. I do this consistently, regularly, for a year or 2 years, whatever. And I just don't stop. Whatever is gonna happen, I just keep doing this. And the second scenario, once I feel that it's hard, I don't like it, my expectations are not met, I just abandon this. And I can fail only in case I abandon this, so I must be obsessed with this idea to that extent that I don't even consider abandonance, I don't even consider giving up on this thing. And probably even a harder truth that I found for myself while having this reflection. I don't remember, I had it 2 days ago probably. I spent actually almost 2 hours writing down, thinking, what do I actually feel about this? What am I actually scared of? And the thing is that I'm actually scared to post it because I expect the type of reaction that I would probably give to someone if someone started doing the same thing. But at the same time, I realized that if someone of my friends actually started suddenly posting the content, I would support them. And even this neighbor who came to me, with who I talked today, he started suddenly posting content. And he doesn't give a fuck. And I could do this also. But I would say I don't know what am I scared of, but I know what am I scared of. I haven't mentioned everything in my mind about this because it's so hard to acknowledge this. It's so hard to talk about this when you find a real reason why you don't do something because you encounter with this. You don't have excuses. You don't have anything to you don't have anything and anyone to justify yourself. And it's actually so hard because I cannot see myself posting content on my main account. I can presuppose that I see myself posting content on a new account. But still, it's something like I would rather prefer posting on my main account. I don't know. It's so hard. Yeah, there are just things that I don't want to combine. So again, everything comes to perfectionism, that I'm supposed to have a perfect beginning and I'm supposed to have a plan for a couple of months ahead. It's horrible actually. I just need to set my phone like this from another angle, of course, but still just to think to think a bit about the topic that I want to talk about, that I understand something about. I just record the first video, not necessarily post it, which is very important, just to record it, to start the process. At the same time, why do I have doubts about posting this stuff? Because I see myself in the future when I do this, when I actually post content to promote my product or to promote myself. First of all, I need to promote myself. Yourself is the biggest merchandise that you can invest in. So it would be always nice to make this type of videos, type of Alex Hormozi, I would say. But I don't see this as a main area of working. I don't see this as something that I am focused on the most. I see it as something secondary, as something that is an addition to my main niche. Again, I'm just trying to be perfectionist. I'm trying to predict how those videos are gonna affect the niche I wanna build in the future. I just need to spend 2 hours per week to record, to edit the video, and to analyze it, to try to improve something. That's it. It's so hard actually. Normally I just don't talk about those things out loud. It's just a mood. Just a mood today to speak up, just because I've just talked with my neighbor, and I don't know what should I choose, because I'm supposed to make a choice, and if I don't make a choice, world is not gonna stop and wait until I make it. Alright, every second just passes by me. And there's no wrong decision, I think. I just need to decide and commit myself on 100% just to that stuff. And that's it. Because as long as I find some doubts, I cannot be committed. I cannot believe in this stuff. But what is very important, also what my neighbor said, you just need to believe in yourself. You just need to believe that you can fucking do this. And actually, I have the belief, genuine belief, that I'm going to hit my goals, which includes a lot of stuff. Actually, not just stuff, a lot of how to say it. It's a list of attainments I want to reach. It's not a single goal. And I'm sure I can do this, but that's the thing. I don't know how long it's gonna take, and I don't know the direct way how to actually get to this. Because as I mentioned, I think there are a couple of methods, and I just need to choose one. None of them is wrong, but each of them is unique on its own. I'm just wondering if I start studying Dutch, trying to keep my French, trying to improve my English, trying to read books, trying to study, trying to execute everything I have about my internship. Like, probably it is what I need, because one of the things that I heard, if you are waiting for perfect circumstances to start something, you will never start. But if you are able to do something when you don't have time for it, then when you have time for it, you will be performing even better. So let's imagine you want to start doing something, but your circumstances are not suitable for this. But still you start doing this, and so you start doing things when your circumstances are hard to begin. And then when everything gets easier, when you get less troubles, when you solve everything and everything gets easier, you just need to keep going. But once you started when everything was hard, when everything gets easier, of course you can keep doing this. Of course you can keep doing this. But if you start when it's easy, once something gets harder in your life, you instantly abandon that stuff. But is this gonna work in my case? This is actually so funny though, because today I watched video I analyzed about overthinking, and is this actually overthinking that I'm doing right now? Because thinking is when, as a result of this, you actually find a solution. Overthinking is just when, as a result of overthinking, it just produces more itself. So as a result of overthinking, just overthink more. And overthinking is when you are trying to predict the future, the outcomes, because once in your past you managed to get better grades, to please some people through thinking ahead. And indeed, sometimes it might be useful, but most of the cases it's just wasting of time and of energy and keeping yourself anxious, because future is unpredictable, too many imponderables. It's impossible actually to see future. And the thing is that your brain thinks that trying to go through every possibility in your mind, you will be prepared to the future. But the thing is that you won't be. You still don't know what is gonna happen. And so it's just infinite game. And in my future, obviously I don't know what's gonna happen, but I can affect my actions. I can affect what am I doing per day. So probably it's, I would say, thinking. Most likely it's thinking. It's not just overthinking right now. It's something that I need to reflect on. It's something that I need to decide. And sometimes it's so hard when you think by yourself because you see only one side. For example, imagine you have your head, you look only in one direction, and you can see, let's say, 60% clearly. I would say when 90% 90 degrees, like you have 360 degrees around your head, right? 60 to 90 degrees you can see clearly. 180 degrees you can see vaguely because you have this how it's called, when you see straight but still you notice what's going on next to you and something behind. And the thing that is going on behind, I cannot look there anyhow. And it's like my perspective is what I see. And there are a lot of information in this world that I don't see, and it is behind me. And it is the way how everyone's perspective works. And it's why I don't see something obvious. Probably I don't hear some kind of smart idea that someone could say in this case. So probably I need to talk with others, to listen to others about this. I don't know, man. It's been 30 minutes since I started recording this video. And I haven't started even talking about my day, so probably I should start doing this. Alright, in the morning I woke up 7:10 again. Tomorrow probably I'm gonna wake up later because now it's 10:20, 11:20 p.m. So I read a book for 30 minutes. Then I wanted to study English for 30 minutes, but the app I used to work with didn't work. So I needed to fix that stuff. I needed to download another app, and it took some time. But eventually I spent 30 minutes studying English, studying a couple of words. Then I spent 1 hour studying French. After that, I went to the gym. Then I returned home. I was supposed to have a meeting. That's why I was waiting. Then I had my breakfast. Then I had my meeting. After that, I wasted about 1 hour watching videos. It's not like reels, it's gym content. Then I spent 3 hours for my internship, having a lunch in the meantime. Then I went to have my dinner, and afterwards I spent 40 minutes studying about overthinking. Because one of the things that I really want to implement, at least 30 hours in the end of the day, to dedicate to myself for self-improvement, for studying something that I'm interested in, right? And so in total, I don't take into account this studying for myself because it's something that I'm willing to do in my free time. So it's closer to my hobbies, my interests. I don't count it as studying, you know. So reading books 30 minutes, English 30 minutes, French 1 hour, internships 3 hours, 3 hours. In total, it's 5 hours per day, which is not really bad. Actually, it's not really bad. I'm kind of satisfied with this result, I would say. The one problem that occurred again, I checked clothes. I already have a checklist of 7 products that I want to buy. In total, it costs a lot. Does it make sense? No, not at all. I want to buy a bag to go to the gym, and I can buy for 30 euros, but I want to buy one for 140 euros. Why? Like, what is the reason? Like, who cares? Like, why do I care? What do I use to bring my stuff to the gym? Why should I overpay? And actually, it will turn out to be more than 140, but it's hard to explain. Alright, never mind. It's probably one of the sides that I could fix. Being in the gym, by the way, I also listened a video about overthinking. So I tried to actually work with this video because the information that is explained is in such a advanced level. It's like listening to a lecture with professional vocabulary. So sometimes I need to re-listen the same stuff to create my own idea about this, you know. Yeah. All right, that's it for today. Nothing special, I would say. The only thing that really probably helped me is writing on my whiteboard the things I need to do. For example, how it looks like. It's part 2. I was supposed to study to do internship for 3 hours, then study French. I didn't study because in the morning I was supposed to study for 1 hour 30 minutes, but I didn't have enough time to study for 1 hour 30 minutes. That's why I studied for 1 hour, and then I wanted to study the rest 30 minutes afternoon, but I didn't find time for that. And then self-improvement 30 minutes, I also did it. And in the morning I had part 1 also with my assignments that I executed. Then I cleaned up the board and wrote down new tasks. Alright, basically that's it. Not gonna go deep again into my thoughts. It's something that I need to think about on myself and probably talk with someone to hear someone's opinion if I need it. Because it's not like about listening to someone. It's not like shifting the responsibility to someone. It's about trying to get the idea that I can find through my perspective, because as I mentioned, it's impossible to see everything, and sometimes we need to talk with someone to get more thoughts, to get more information, to get more space for reflection. All right. I would be really surprised if someone watched to this moment, but anyways, without being said, see you the next time.